Lavallo just had 2 timeouts left. I don't know what that is like, Potter. Last minute. I borrowed 100 from Dean Smith. Lord have mercy on him, and helped me keep my job at Virginia for another couple of weeks.
So Baldwin had a step back 3 last time, and like you said, this one not quite as big, but that tough 2 as Xavier is putting the pressure on the Bulldogs late without Aaron Thompson.
Yep.
That's what Baldwin has done in his Butler career.
Jamal Baldwin's a great player. First team preseason, all Big East. Tremendous. Game's not over yet, though. David, keep being aggressive. So I would consider playing his zone. I know it's not in Laval Jordan's DNA, but have something, just pack it in.
Jones draws the D. Marshall covered up by Batley. Marshall in tight contact. Play on again.
What's going on with that?
And Baldwin comes away with a rebound. Travis Steele flummoxed.
I don't blame him. That's it. Trying to get home and see Lord of Law reruns. What's going on? And that was a fast up. The bodies were flying.
Baldwin, jersey untucked, crossing over on Jones. Step back. Baldwin! A step in from Baldwin corner. Kamar has another. Butler by 9. Unafraid. Big ballin' Kamar Baldwin for Butler.
DiGiorno Rising Crust Pizza now has even more cheese. It's so cheesy, you'll need a pickup line to go with it. Like, did it hurt? When all that cheese fell from heaven and landed on you? It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno, now with more cheese.
You can't put a price on love. But if you did, it'd cost the exact same as a Reese's. Turns out love's kind of inexpensive. Not sorry. Reese's.
Fields of gold, acres of green, mountains of earth. The land is your canvas. Paint it with horsepower and solid steel. Purpose-built equipment for a job done right.
With Creighton bearing down on Seton Hall, Providence, St. John's to follow here. It is Butler and Xavier, and it is Kamar Baldwin. Fearless.
Tremendous shot, step back jump shot. Left-handed, but likes to go to his right a lot. Big time shot from a big time player.
And that's a 6'9" Tyreek Jones on you as well. So that's a big hand, and Kamar Baldwin still floats it.
Yep. Blue liked it.
He's a winner.
Yeah. Baldwin, great player. He wants the ball in clutch time.
Derek Smith's back on the Butler bench. He and Thompson have both left the game with injuries. There's a foul called on the inbound, and it looks... That's on Badley, I believe it was. Enzi was close to the play, but it's on Badley, his second. Had it been on Enzi, that would have been his 5th, but it stops the clock and allows Marshall to head to the free throw line. 1-1.
He's a 70% shooter from the free throw line. Solid, but not great.
Gets the front end. With 1:02, Xavier's still hoping.
Biggest thing for Butler, got to get it in. Not in the coffin corner where they're taking the ball out. Try to get it to a good free throw shooter, like a Baldwin. You can. Or McDermott.
Marshall gets them both. Jones will guard the inbounder, inbounder Tucker.
1-2-1-1 zone press. They got a big guy on the ball. They get a trap.
1 minute to go.
Baldwin trapped in the backcourt. There's the coffin corner. Manages to get it out of there, but a bad pass by Badley. Tucker trying to get it across and just does.
Yep. Little Baldwin.
Xavier not fouling right now. With a 7-point lead, but you need a stop if you're the Musketeers.
I would foul. It's a 3-possession game. You hope they miss it.
with 5 to shoot. Baldwin goes to work on Jones. Baldwin lost the handle, 2 to shoot, has to heave it, and that is a shot clock violation. So put it in the hands of Kamar Baldwin and let him go to work. Can't fault that strategy, but Xavier gets the stop. And with 31.7 in a 7-point game, you see the differential. Shot and game at 31.7. They want to make sure the officials that were all squared away timing-wise. It is James Breeding and Tim Clockerty at the scores table. Quick check. Satisfied. We have the timing right here with 31.7. And a fresh 30 on the shot clock.
Yep. But as you said, you want to get to your best player, right? That time he just fumbled it, but go with your best guy now. Xavier has no timeouts left. Butler has 1. Comes Xavier now, 1 to 2 passes, go right to the rim. If your Butler don't foul.
0.3 seconds put back on 32, but point remains the same. Got to go quickly, or Butler
In his zone.
changes D. Inside, Jones. Foul called. Golden with Jones in a game where a lot has been let go. That is a tough one on Bryce Golden. That is his 4th personal foul. Shooting foul. Jones has 2 free throws, but again, you go back to Tyreek Jones' free throw shooting woes 59%, although tonight 4 for 5. Make it 5 of 6. This is big for Xavier if Tyreek Jones shoots from the free throw line like this down the stretch of the season and into March.
2-possession game now. 6 points.
Doesn't get the second. Tucker has the board as Scruggs hits the deck, and now the foul is given on McDermott. So Butler gets it into the hands of McDermott, the 88% free throw shooter, just where you wanted the ball to go to send him to the line.
Yep.
Sean McDermott at the line for the Bulldogs at 1-1.
1-1. Third personal foul on Najee Marshall, but a 1-1 coming here for McDermott. Almost automatic.
Yep. Great free throw shooter.
And this is desperation now time for Xavier with 18.7. A free throw away from being... There it is, down by 8. Marshall into the hands.
Back to man for Butler. Played zone 1 possession.
Marshall quickly to the rim, rolls out. There's Jones with the board. Last seconds, desperation time. Scruggs heaves it. Jones has the rebound, and now Marshall with the seconds ticking away. That counts, but 0.6 seconds, and Butler is going to win this basketball game. They will double check 2, 3, and timing on this one.
Yep.
But with 0.6 seconds or whatever is left up there on the clock, this is going to be a Butler win.
Yep. Najee Marshall throws it up there.
Next home game is Saturday, 2:30 start. The Bulldogs at Georgetown. At 2:30 Saturday here at the Fieldhouse.
So for Butler, this goes down as a quad 2 win, meaning now 13 in quad 1, quad 2, 4th most in the nation. Again, this is rather academic whether it will be a 3-pointer and it'll count, but it's a 5-point game with 0.6 seconds. No adjustment to the clock. That's the most important thing. This is going to be a Butler win, and a very hard-fought Butler win. I mean, you lose Aaron Thompson and Derek Smits in the middle of the game, and Baldwin has to go back to the point and handle the Xavier pressure, and the Bulldogs pull it out.
The defense has been great. Best defensive team in the Big East.
Ends tangled between Enzi and Fremantle, and that is appropriate. Laval Jordan, Travis Steele shake hands with Butler, a 66-61 winner over Xavier. Another quality win for the Butler Bulldogs. So the updated Big East standings as Seton Hall falls to Creighton. The Pirates just the second Big East loss. Here in Indianapolis, it is Butler winning over Xavier, so the Musketeers to 5-7 after they had won 3 straight. And the Butler Bulldogs 7-5, and Jamie Erdahl is with Laval Jordan.
Coach, this game was going to be challenging enough, but what did you learn about your team when you lost Aaron Thompson and Derek Smits in the second half?
Yeah, we've got a resilient group. Honestly, we talked before the game about the journey, right? Just embracing the journey of a season. And guys go in, guys going out. We lost Christian David. Aaron's been out. And you just got to stay resilient, stay together, and play the next possession, right? I thought guys did a good job of just fighting together. So Aaron goes down, and Henry Badley comes in the game and steps up in the first half and did a heck of a job defending in the second half. So it was just a team win.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
So for Pete Gill and Jamie Erdahl, our entire CBS crew, I'm Carter Blackburn. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Leave it to me. I'll get your taxes in an okay place.
What?
Well, just as soon as my audit is over, this gets my undivided attention.
Take a lot of trips to the islands, Phil.
Pretty great, right? Oh, Phil's legally dead. Fell off a boat. Going by Dennis now. Solari. Long story. Then we got, oh, no, you're not gonna want to see this.
I don't think this is gonna work.
Just okay is not okay. AT&T has America's best network, now with our best plans at our best prices, starting at $35 a month per line for 4 lines. New from AT&T.
Old Trapper Beefs. Tough snacks.
Out here, nothing comes easy. That's why you gotta be tough. My truck, it's tough. My crew, definitely tough. But Old Trapper taught me the value of tenderness.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Oh, it's a puppy. That rhythm you feel is everywhere. It's in our music. It is definitely in our hearts. Our rhythm never stops, and we need a beer that keeps up with it. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer that goes with our rhythm.
Sonic just introduced tachos. Look at that cheese sauce.
Bacon, too, so crispy.
And Baja Blend.
Love those spicy jalapenos.
Tachos. It's like I'm saying nachos, but I'm not.
It's not that much like you're saying nachos.
From Queens, New York, it's Game 2 of our Big East doubleheader on CBS Sports Network. We're getting set for tip-off between Providence and St. John's. A look at the updated standings in the Big East. How about Seton Hall losing at home to Creighton? And you just saw Butler victorious on CBS Sports Network. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Queens alongside former Villanova coach Steve Lapis. I'm Andrew Catalan. John Rothstein will join us as well. Right now, Providence on the outside of the NCAA tournament bubble, but they have a lot of opportunities on the horizon. That makes tonight a critical game for the Friars.
And not that far out. With a net score of 56, they're right in it because in the Big East, you have a chance to get a quality win almost every night. But they've got to get it done here in Queens tonight.
These two teams met a month ago. Providence won that game. So tonight, Ed Cooley and the Friars look for the season sweep as we take a look at these starting lineups. And for Providence, a homecoming for Alpha Diallo, New York native, played high school ball in Harlem. And for St. John's, LJ Figueroa, their leading scorer. Their second leading scorer, not around the rest of this season for head coach Mike Anderson. For more on the injury to Mustafa Heron, we send it over to John Rothstein.
Well, Andrew, obviously a significant loss for St. John's with Mustafa Heron likely done for the year with a right ankle injury. St. John's will go by committee in his absence, but keep an eye on freshman Julian Champagny. He's been sensational as of late and should continue to flourish in Mike Anderson's high-octane system, Andrew.
All right, John, thank you very much. Our officials tonight, Nathan Farrell, Brent Hampton, and Bo Borowski. This is the first game St. John's has played on their campus here at Carnesecca Arena since New Year's Eve. That's a long time without playing a game here.
And this is where you practice every day, so they can't be totally happy about that.
And they have to wait a little bit longer as we're going to tip it up again. Of course, St. John's also plays home games at Madison Square Garden, but they're 8-2 in this building this year. Tough place to play.
And
Roberts and Watson.
And what makes it tough against the pressing team makes it even tougher because the people here are right on top of you.
Providence has won 2 of its last 3 games. They're 6-5 in the Big East. Friars coming off a loss Saturday night at Xavier on the road. Shot clock at 5. Watson. Double team down low. Good defense by Roberts. And Champagnie takes it away.
One of the best shot blockers in the Big East Conference, Josh Roberts, has made a step defensively as a sophomore. This Providence team playing man-to-man, but they've played a lot more zone in the recent weeks.
Roberts 4th in the Big East in blocks per game, averaging 1.6 per night.
One thing, Andrew, St. John's wants this game. They're one of the quicker playing teams in the country. Providence among the slower playing teams in the country.
Champagnie with the shot clock at 2. It won't go, and A.J. Reeves with the rebound.
In that first game, Providence dominated the glass. That's why they won. They had 15 second chance points. That was a key in that win.
They out-rebounded St. John's by 12 back on January 15th. And we have our first foul. It goes on St. John's and Josh Roberts. Red Storm have lost 3 in a row under Mike Anderson. Have not lost 4 straight all season long. And a travel by David Duke.
You know, Providence they struggled in the pre-conference season. St. John's played great in the pre-conference season, and Providence has flipped it around. St. John's has struggled a little bit. Providence playing better in the conference season.
Here's Figueroa. St. John scored 82 points in the loss Saturday night against Creighton. The problem is they gave up 94, and we've got a wedgie on a Wednesday night here in Queens.
And one thing about St. John's, they're not really a half-court offensive team. They force 17 turnovers a game, number 4 in the nation in steals. They want to turn you over and get out in transition. They want to play fast. Right now, they've only had half-court opportunities.
Rasheem Dunn will launch from deep, and that shot no good. And Diallo hands off to Malik White. Diallo cuts to the paint. Providence works it around to Duke. Now Reeves for 3. Still looking for our first points of the night. Figueroa, deep 3 is good.
He's the one guy on St. John's who's a consistent three-point shooter. They don't have anybody else on the roster that shoots over 26% from 3 except L.J. Figueroa.
Dead last in the Big East, St. John's shooting the 3 ball at just 30% on the season.
One thing you look for Providence, you look for them to try to pound it inside. They don't shoot the 3 ball very well either. David Duke, their best 3-point shooter.
There's White on the attack, trying to use the glass, too strong, and the rebound to Roberts. Here they go, Red Storm in transition. Good defense knocked away from Dunn. And it's Providence ball.
And the one guy you do have to guard, especially in transition, because they love to go in transition, is L.J. Figueroa. He stops at the 3-point line there. They put it on the numbers, and he knocks it out.
Figueroa struggled in the first meeting between these two schools. He was 4 of 17 from the floor and 2 of 12 from deep.
The one place you don't want to throw the ball against St. John's is in that deep corner there. They were lucky to get out of that trap.
Watson draws the double, works around and scores.
That was not a good double team. If you're going to let a guy get to the middle of the floor in a double team, you didn't do the job in the double.
Here's Dunn. His jumper is good. Last 2 home games for Dunn. He averaged 20 points per game, but both those games at Madison Square Garden. Rasheem Dunn picks up the foul.
And you said, look at this pressure. This is aggressive, face guard, full court pressure. They make you attack all the time. That's how they want you. They don't want you to run your offense. They want to make you play off the dribble.
There's Diallo. Homecoming for him, and he gets the home bounce.
You know, I like the fact that Diallo is looking to take the ball to the basket instead of shoot threes. He's not a good three-point shooter. Sometimes he settles for too many threes. Now he's driving.
Williams shot off the mark, and the easy rebound to Nate Watson. Tough pass, and Watson could not handle it. Turnover by Duke.
And it was an aggressive trap on David Duke there, and he turned it over.
Champagny, his three is good. I think his 13th three of the year.
This kid's going to be a very good player.
Played well over his last 2 games, averaging 11.5 points and 9 rebounds per game. Diallo trying to answer. Gets his own miss. And he scores inside.
That's what Alpha Diallo does, not shoot threes. He gets to the foul line. He's one of the better offensive rebounders in the league. That's what he needs to do.
And a steal by Diallo. Diallo flies in, and he throws it down. 5th in the Big East in steals per game, and Diallo makes St. John's pay right there.
And you know, Providence, they're a team that steals the ball a lot too, but they steal, most of their steals are in the half-court defense.
Not that time for Champagny. And here comes Reeves. Up ahead, Duke. And Duke with the flush. A couple of fast break buckets for the Friars, and they pull ahead by 2.
And the Friars, they struggle to score also, so when they get some transition, that's a real bonus for them.
Roberts can't get the tip to go. Funny, the same thing happened to Providence Saturday night in Xavier. The first media timeout didn't happen for about 8 minutes, and now we're almost 6 minutes in, and still play on was Figueroa across midcourt.
Yeah, that was unbelievable the other day in that game.
Champagny, there's the contact, bucket and the foul. Champagny will have a chance at 3 when we come back.
Boy, this freshman, he's going to be a good player, no doubt about it. Champagny scoring inside. And right now, we got a tie game. St. John's and the Providence Friars. A good one in Queens.
Everybody was going nuts. I was losing in the 10th frame. Had to get 3 strikes in a row in order to try to win it.
Wait, you never played for the Bucks?
What?
Wow. Don't worry, I can help with this.
Visual on target. Target in sight. Convoy on route. Hold the line, that's a good line, hold the line.
Sometimes the front lines are in our own backyard. It's okay. Make a difference in your community, serving part-time in the Army National Guard.
Consistency.
Your game depends on it.
Your score depends on it. Your next shot depends on it.
Consistency.
It's confidence.
Consistency. It's distance control. Consistency. It's everything.
Nothing is more important. The fact is, consistency matters. You're either playing the most consistent golf ball or you're not.
Titleist, the #1 ball in golf.
5-Hour Energy gets you through your on-the-go life. Now it comes in 2 delicious tropical flavors that can take you to a whole new on-the-go experience. Try them both. Vote for your favorite. You could be on the go to someplace you actually want to go.
You're not holding it by the legs, are you?
No, I'm not.
Gorilla Glue.
Of course. Gorilla Glue is incredibly strong and versatile, even outdoors, for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Tums. Those to work in seconds for fast heartburn relief. By State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by AT&T.
Just outside New York City, beautiful night. We're tied at 10 early going here at Providence and St. John's. Look back at the season so far for the Friars. Steve Lapis mentioned it, a very bumpy road in the non-conference. Then they won 4 of their first 5 games in the Big East play, including a Marquette win in overtime on the road. A lot of games against ranked opponents, and they did pull out a couple of victories against ranked opponents in Butler and Creighton. And we take a look at the NCAA tournament resume for head coach Ed Cooley, who's reached the NCAA tournament 5 of the last 6 seasons. Right now in the net, number 57. They've got some big wins. They did have some bad early losses. So what do you say right now, Steve Lapis?
Got to win some games. They obviously can't lose a game like tonight. They have Seton Hall on Saturday, where we're going to be there on CBS Sports Network. Another big game. They have Villanova left. They have Marquette left again. So they've got a lot of opportunities to improve that resume. I tell you what, they get to 10-8 in the league, and I know that's a long way off, but it's possible this team will get in the NCAA tournament.
Now, that's the thing, with the Big East being so deep. They have 5 teams ranked, most of any conference in the country. First time that's happened for the Big East in 7 years. You're going to have opportunities night in, night out to improve that resume, but that comes along with playing St. John's, which isn't horrible in the net by any means, top 80, but this is one that would stand out if they lost it.
You take a look at the league. All 10 teams, no one lower than 76. DePaul is 64, and they're 1-10. You take a look at the other 1-10 teams around the country, they're not number 64, believe me.
And a surprise tonight that we mentioned as Seton Hall lost at home to a very good ranked Creighton team, which put up 94 against the Red Storm Saturday night. Nice cut to the basket, Reeves scores, and now all 6 of Providence field goals have come in the paint.
Terrific cut there.
Nearly a steal by Reeves. Nick Rutherford has checked in for the Red Storm along with David Caraher. As Marcellus Earlington misses the jumper. And out of bounds to St. John's.
Well, you take a look. It's a great cut and a back screen for A.J. Reeves right there by Diallo, and he's able to finish and a good pass. Nothing beats a good back screen, because if you don't have real good communication, you're going to get beat on a back screen.
Rutherford baseline, and he scores.
See, you should not close out on Nick Rutherford and get beat. He's 5 for 26 for the season from the three-point line. You can't go for his shot there.
Luan Pipkins has checked in for the Friars. He's got the ball. Greg Gant also on the floor and a turnover. Rutherford the other way. Rutherford no, and there's Earlington to clean it up.
You know, both these teams are very good on the offensive glass. Earlington is the second best offensive rebounder on the St. John's team.
8th in the Big East, 2.5 a game.
That was such a careless pass by Providence.
Pipkins to Young. And the rebound to David Caraher. John Rothstein pointed out what Mike Anderson told us before the game. Without Mustafa Heron, there's not one guy that has to pick up the slack. It's really going to be by committee, and I thought Anderson made a good point as Dunn scores, and St. John's increases their lead. But as Mike Anderson pointed out, Heron missed 3 games earlier this season when he suffered that right ankle injury against Brown back on December the 10th. So they've played games without him this year. This is not uncharted territory for the Red Storm.
And really, the way Mike Anderson coaches, he plays a lot of guys, so they're going to do it by committee all year. There's no question. That is huge key. A.J. Reeves is the best pure shooter on the team. Duke has the best numbers, but they need A.J. Reeves to play the way he's capable of. That would make a huge difference for the Friars.
Shooting it better in conference play, 38% from deep for Reeves.
And now the zone by Providence that they've been using a lot more lately. That's a pretty good thing to play against St. John's.
And a whistle inside is going to go on Greg Gant. 11:15 to go first half. And St. John's out to a nice start at home. First it was done. But then the answer from A.J. Reeves here on CBS Sports Network.
It's been a long time coming, but you've made it to this point, and little by little, you've been transformed. Confident is the new you. It's a better you. Get out of your head, man. How much farther can you take it? You think you got this? Yeah, I got this.
Get that new smile confidence 3 times sooner than braces at Smile Direct Club.
These folks, they don't have time to go to the post office. They have businesses to grow, customers to care for, lives to get home to. They use Stamps.com. Print discounted postage for any letter, any package, anytime, right from your computer. All the amazing services of the post office, only cheaper. Get our special TV offer, a 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan? Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefits in addition to those found in original Medicare. Benefits like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage. In many areas, plans with benefits are available with $0 monthly premiums or $0 deductibles. Call now. The consultation is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 1-800-558-7165. That's 1-800-558-7165.
Back at Carneseca Arena, St. John's out to a 2-point lead. Steve Lapis, let's take a look at your keys to the game.
Well, for Providence, they've got to make it a 60-possession game. They don't want this thing to go up and down fast. They like to play slow. They got to score points in the paint. How about this? 12 of their points are in the paint already in this game. St. John's must force turnovers. They're not a half-court offensive team. They got to force steals and get out in transition, and they've got the defensive rebound. Providence crushed them on the glass in that first game, and they're not a great defensive rebounding team. They're not very big. They have to hold their own on the glass.
Ed Cooley decided to not have a shoot-around today, which as the season goes on, certainly wears on you. It makes sense to kind of give your guys a break and lay off a little bit.
It surprised me in such a late game. You know what I mean? If it was a 7 o'clock game, maybe, you're laying around a lot all day, but he knows his team better than anybody.
Figueroa for 3.
I've said this since I first saw this kid last year. He's a very, very good player. And look how they pressure you. They switch everything. They want you to try and beat them off the dribble. Go ahead. I dare you to beat.
Shot clock at 7. Pipkins comes to get it. Guarded by Earlington. Pipkins shot clock at 2. They got to put it up. They're not aware of it right now. Shot clock violation.
You know, we've talked about this with Ed Cooley. They don't really have a pure point guard on the team, and that has really hurt them. Somebody to take charge in that situation, to know what's going on with the shot clock.
Diallo and White come in. Reeves and Pipkins head out. St. John's has heated up on the offensive end. They started 3 for 9, but since then they've made 5 of their last 7.
Providence, they like this zone, especially in the half-court situation here, making St. John's stand around and pass the ball. But they got to find this guy in that zone. Right there.
Rutherford shot clock at 3. Erlington forces one up. And the rebound fought for and grabbed by Providence. And a whistle, as David Carraher was a little too aggressive. Well, Providence has really had St. John's number in their last several meetings. They've won 6 in a row. St. John's hasn't defeated Providence since 2017. Haven't won at home against the Friars since 2015. That was at Madison Square Garden. So 2011, last time here in Queens. Erlington off the steal, and he gives it right back. Oh no, they're going to say it'll stay with St. John's. Last touch by Providence.
I mean, that wasn't even really a steal. Malik White just basically gave them the ball, but you have to be ultra alert. That's one thing that Mike Anderson does. He makes you concentrate for 40 minutes. You have a lull, you turn it over 3 times in a row, you find yourself in a big hole.
4th in the country, St. John's with 10 steals per game. Only had 1 against Creighton on Saturday. It was just the 2nd time this year. They had fewer than 5 in a game. Arizona State the other.
You know, Andrew, like most pressing teams, not as effective on the road as it is at home.
Steve, I also thought you made a great point when we were having our pregame production meeting as Erlington gets it back down low about how times have changed a little bit as Figueroa hits another 3. You don't have a lot of big guys on the floor. It's a smaller game right now as Providence calls timeout. We'll finish that point when we come back, but right now St. John's on a nice run, 12-3. They pulled ahead against the Friars.
Old Trapper Beefs, fake protein.
Guys, can we take a quick protein break? Protein City. I got my beans, my bars, my goos, my glumps, my fizz. I don't know what that one is, but you want in?
I'm good, man.
I think Goop was a bad choice.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Welcome back to St. John's and Providence here at Carnesecca Arena. I'm John Rothstein. Red Storm with a 23-15 lead with 9:22 to play in the first half. LJ Figueroa with 9 quick points for the Red Storm. Why is that important? With Mustafa Heron out, this could be their go-to guy in games this season, Andrew, where he scores 20 or more. St. John's is 3-1.
And he's done that impressively with averaging under 15 points per game, which is 13th in the Big East. But to finish our point on how styles have changed over the year against this defense.
In the old days, when you got trapped, you would throw the ball at the floor, and there'd probably be a 4 and 5 man that couldn't make plays on their own. They weren't 3-point shooters. Now you throw the ball at the floor, there's probably 2 guys that can make a 3 or make a play. That's why pressing like this, in this day and age, a little different than it was years ago.
Yeah, very good point, as Duke missed the long 3.
And I'm not saying it can't be effective, but I'll tell you what, you have to really sprint out of traps quickly to get back, because more people can shoot threes nowadays than ever before.
Including David Carraher, who buries a 3. And St. John's out to a hot start.
Well, I mean, here's a team that makes 6 threes a game, and right now they are on fire.
Already with 5. And the other thing, just to finish the point on Mike Anderson, he told us before the game, also got to recruit my guys that can fit my system. Another turnover. Rutherford ahead of the pack. Missed it. Erlington offensive rebound. Erlington trying to get rid of it, and he is fouled. That takes us to a timeout. High flying start for the Storm. They lead at 26-15.
Hurry. Come on. Thanks, Dad.
All right. Yeah, thanks.
Quality time.
by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
You leave it to me. I'll get your taxes in an okay place.
What?
Well, just as soon as my audit is over, this gets my undivided attention.
Take a lot of trips to the islands, Phil.
Pretty great, right? Oh, Phil's legally dead. Fell off a boat. Going by Dennis now. Solari. Long story. Then we got, oh, no, you're not gonna want to see this.
I don't think this is gonna work.
Just okay is not okay. AT&T has America's best network, now with our best plans at our best prices, starting at $35 a month per line for 4 lines. New from AT&T.
My body is truly powerful.
I have the power to lower my blood sugar and A1C.
Because I can still make my own insulin. And Trulicity activates my body to release it, like it's supposed to.
Trulicity is for people with type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin. I take it once a week. It starts acting in my body from the first dose.
Trulicity isn't for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it, you or your family have medullary thyroid cancer, or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, or severe stomach pain. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, belly pain, and decreased appetite, which lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about Trulicity.
Yeah, let's go. Connection by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
St. John's up 26-15. Tomorrow, starting at 5 Eastern, CBS Sports Network brings you a triple header of college hoops. First, Bryant at Sacred Heart. That's followed by a CAA matchup between Charleston and Hofstra. And then at 9, Marshall heads to San Antonio to take on UTSA. That's a good one in the CAA tomorrow. Top 2 teams as Hofstra takes on the College of Charleston. Here in Queens, LJ Figueroa, 9 early points for the Storm.
This 6'6" junior does a lot of things for his team. He's also a much improved three-point shooter, 36% from the arc this year. He also leads the Big East in steals. This guy is a great all-around player, and he's been like that for 2 years for St. John's.
15-3 run for the Red Storm. Last 9 points have come on threes. Meanwhile, during that timeout, Ed Cooley did not join the Friars in the huddle. He sat on the bench, clearly upset with his team, and his assistants ran the huddle as Cooley just sat there.
I don't think their half-court defense has been very good, and I don't blame them. Normally, Ed's teams defensively in the half-court are really solid. They have not been solid in transition or in the half-court tonight.
I also mentioned he's been looking for more out of his senior class. Maybe that's an opportunity for them without Ed Cooley in the huddle to try to step up as he's tried to get them to bring that leadership role on.
Well, I mean, those looks that Figueroa got, he had to knock him down, but he was pretty open on all 3 of those.
Shot clock's at 5. Caraher puts it up and hits again. That's a 2 for David Caraher.
They ended up with a switch, and Watson ended up on Caraher, and he just couldn't stay on it.
Pipkin steps into a 3.
Oh, not close.
Long rebound, Reeves fighting for it, and he is fouled by Caraher. David Caraher has provided a spark off the bench.
Well, they ended up with a switch for some reason, and Watson ended up on him and just couldn't stay with it. He tried, but he couldn't do it.
Caraher comes out after picking up his second foul.
Right now, Providence very uncomfortable playing against this team. And that's what they do. They make you uncomfortable.
Diallo misses, tip no good. Diallo fighting for the loose ball, gets it, scores in the foul. Maybe that's the spark Providence needs.
Well, when Diallo is at his best, that's what he does. He scores in the paint. Offensive rebounds, drives, posts up inside. This is what he does. He's trying to be a three-point shooter, but that's not who he is, and that's not what Ed Cooley needs him to be right now.
And the foul was on Josh Roberts. That's his second foul.
No pressure from Providence now.
Figueroa from the corner, not this time. Diallo the board. Outlet pass to Duke. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Reeves, transition three, no.
You know, that's a good shot, but I tell you what, it opens up that tempo to go exactly the way St. John's wants it to go.
Wow, Figueroa looking for a call, doesn't get it. Providence looking for answers on the offensive end.
Well, their best answer regularly is in the paint.
Only scores 67 a game in Big East play, that's last. Pipkins does not have the answer. And tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Friars. Ed Cooley's going to put Emmett Holt in the game. Has not played the last two. Obviously had that very serious intestinal surgery 2 years ago and has lost a lot of weight coming back from that. But Cooley told us before the game he was hoping to get Holt out there for a few minutes. Let's see what he can do.
I tell you, there isn't a harder place to take the ball out of bounds from against St. John's than where the one Pickens is right now.
Packed in tight here at Carnesecca. Wednesday night, Big East basketball on CBS Sports Network. Duke three, no. Providence just 1 of 6 from deep. And on the other end, it's done.
This team is so comfortable in a fast game.
Red Storm lead by 13. Diallo fakes the three. 5 minutes to go in the first half. That shot blocked by Champagny. Diallo offensive board. Had it knocked away. Steve, I don't think Providence can win a game at this pace.
No, there's no question they can. We said 60 possessions. This thing is headed for a lot more than 60 possessions.
This is exactly the style that St. John's wants to play. Watch how fast they get the ball up the court.
They do everything fast. They push it up fast. They pass it to each other fast. They got Providence backpedaling. That 12-footer or 13-footer becomes a lot easier when your defender is frozen because he's backpedaling.
And a kickball. It'll stay with the Friars.
I think they thought they were going to get a lot more from Pipkins this season, the transfer from UMass.
Duke three is good, finally, for Providence. Much needed. Last 6 games, Duke has averaged 15 points per game. Champagny for three. Cannot answer, and the rebound to Duke. Ed Cooley told us before the game, wants Duke to be more aggressive like this. And he will shoot 2 when we come back. That's exactly what Ed Cooley was talking about. Friars down 10 on CBS Sports Network.
We can't make dieting any easier, but we can straighten your teeth 3 times sooner than traditional braces.
Go from this to this. Start for free at SmileDirectClub.com.
Everybody was going nuts. I was losing in the 10th frame. Had to get 3 strikes in a row in order to try to win it.
Wait, you never played for the Bucks?
What?
Don't worry, I can help with this.
You can fake a lot of things. Solid steel isn't one of them. The L-Series compact tractors, built to get the job done right.
Old Trapper Beefs, tough snacks.
Out here, you gotta be tough. My truck, my crew, they're tough. Old Trapper taught me the value of tenderness.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
You know what beats next day shipping? Getting it the same day. With Ace, you can buy online and get free in-store pickup or get it delivered that day. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their stuff.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Technology. It does great things for people, like putting CPAs at our fingertips who will review our taxes with us.
I checked your return and you're good to go.
Great, thanks.
People can be good at anything, even taxes. Intuit TurboTax.
St. John's leads by 10. This is only February, but March is approaching. John Rothstein, Steve Lapis have some tourney sleepers, and John, we'll start with you.
Top of this list, Pat Chambers right now doing as well of a coaching job as any coach in college basketball. Lamar Stevens playing like an All-American. Houston has obviously Kelvin Sampson at the helm, one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Creighton, who won at Seton Hall tonight, has the best backcourt in the Big East with Zagorowski, Ballack, and Tyshon Alexander. And BYU is a team in the West Coast Conference that has a stud up front in Yoli Childs. Get this, Andrew, when healthy this year, the Cougars are 11-2.
Well, Kentucky, Ashton Hagen's the point guard. Nick Richards playing like one of the best big men in the country. Colorado Buffalo's Tad Boyle's team, tremendous defensively and on the glass. Northern Iowa, if you haven't heard of A.J. Green, you're going to hear about him in the tournament. 20 points a game. They're 21-3. And last but not least, seems like St. Mary's every year. They've got a great guard named Jordan Ford, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the nation.
Big East scores from tonight. You saw Butler defeat Xavier here on CBS Sports Network. John mentioned the big win by Creighton at Seton Hall. And right now, first half action, Villanova at home on top of Marquette. Every night in this league is a battle.
And that's why, Andrew, you had to do your best to hold, serve, and hold. It's so important to win your home games.
Here's Duke at the free throw line, 9th best in the Big East. He shoots 81% from the line.
This kid has it all going. 6'5", long, athletic, a really much improved three-point shooter. More aggressive this year than he was a freshman. He was a big-time recruit.
And Ed Cooley did not have to go very far. He grew up 1 mile from campus. That helps in the recruiting process.
Nice to have it close by. Keep your budget down.
That's down on the miles.
Spend the money on somebody else.
8-point game. Final 4 minutes of the first half. Burlington, and he traveled. Is that Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator Brian Dable? No, it's Bill O'Brien. We work with that young man. Big St. John's fan, and he'll be watching coming up AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Khaled El-Amin, Ryan Howans, and Gary Parrish. Scores and highlights from around the country in first half analysis. That's on AT&T at the half. And a travel by Providence. That's their 8th turnover of the half. They average 13 per game. Baseline, and a foul is called on the drive by Champagny. That's going to go on Nate Watson. That's his second. Champagny makes the first. Let's check in with John.
Well, guys, as you know, Julian Champagny has had some big-time games lately. He was not planning on going to college this year. His brother, Justin Champagny, a key freshman for Pitt. When Van Macon was hired by Mike Anderson as an assistant, his plan changed. They wound up selling him on St. John's. Looks like a really good program guy for Mike Anderson, Andrew.
Yeah, Brooklyn native. And happy to be here in Queens with Mike Anderson.
How about this very aggressive zone that Mike Anderson just went into? And this is not like your regular zone where you can do whatever you want, but that was exactly where you need to get the ball against that zone, to the mid-post area.
Khalif Young finding the right spot. Champagny blocked. Big play by Diallo. Pipkins carries ahead. No look pass.
That is a terrible pass.
Ed Cooley not happy.
Yeah, Pipkins has not really been what they thought he was going to be. And he was a really good player at UMass, but he hasn't been able to do it in this league.
The only place he does it is the free throw line. Can't argue with that stat. He's 47 out of 48 this year. Burlington long two. And the rebound to Holt.
Well, how about Providence? They shoot 37% from three at home and 27 on the road. We talk about night and day. That's another terrible pass.
10 first-half turnovers, and that is the look you get.
And it's a bad decision, but this is what St. John's does. Because of the way they play, they make you make 1,000 decisions in a game. You can't make them all good. It's impossible. That's Mike Anderson's style. It's been his style since he was an assistant to Nolan Richardson in Arkansas. He went to UAB, did an unbelievable job there. Missouri, everywhere he's been, he's won, and he's won this way.
And St. John's has scored 11 points off turnovers here in the first half.
And he has not had to change his ties because he's got the same color, so he has not had to buy a new set of ties.
I don't think he's probably even had to buy a new suit. He looks as in good a shape as he is now as he was 20 years ago.
No doubt about it. Really a terrific coach. And he plays a way that you're not used to. It's hard to practice. What was we were having this discussion with Ed Cooley before the game, Andrew, about how you practice against a team that does this to you. It's very hard to simulate. We would play 7 against 5. I would have 2 guys just trap everything in practice for 3 days in trying to get ready for a team like this.
Wow. Champagny throws that in the 4th row. He'll come out of the game, and checking in is Damian Sears, who apparently got a haircut since the Creighton game.
I didn't recognize it.
Yeah, totally different.
Another terrible pass.
Rutherford lays it in.
I mean, Pipkins really has thrown it everywhere so far in this game.
When these two teams met last month, Providence had 15 turnovers for the game. They have 11 already tonight.
And that's the other thing about Mike Anderson's team. Not only do they turn you over, but they score up those turnovers because a lot of them are steals.
Diallo fouled on the baseline. He'll shoot 2. Some of these turnovers are very sloppy.
I mean, look at this. I mean, one thing you have to do when you play against a team that's this aggressive looking for steals, fake your passes. They'll come running past you. Fake a pass, and a good finish here by Rutherford. You see no pass fakes by Providence in this game. I'm telling you, if you pass fake, they'll be running across half court, St. John's guys, because they're so geared to making steals. Make them pay for being over-aggressive. There's a way to do that.
1:16 on the clock. Look at the foul situation. Providence with just 4. To St. John's with 8 as Emmett Holt checks out. So a couple fouls to give for the Friars here down the stretch. Sears gets the rebound off the miss by Alpha Diallo. Williams to a cutting Sears. He's fouled, and then we'll shoot 2.
Now think about this. On a missed free throw, St. John's is able to get that thing down, and Providence doesn't get back and locate good enough that time. That's really not what you can do on a missed free throw. You got to get back. Look at everybody. Everybody's looking at each other. Nobody's running back. Kerrer's in the corner by himself. And once that's complete, all the Providence guys are above the top of the key. Not good defense.
Foul was on Duke. That's his second. As Sears has not been to the line very much this year. He's now 9 for 19 and 9 for 20. Duke has to be careful here with the 2 fouls. Here's Malik White. His 3 won't go. Diallo offensive board and a putback. He missed it. Gets it back again. Diallo fouled by Sears. One and one coming for Alpha Diallo. Diallo already has 10 rebounds in the first half. His career high rebounds is 15.
Well, if he makes 1 free throw, he's going to have a double-double in the first half.
A lot of those rebounds were his own misses, but that counts.
He's got to make those.
Eight-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. And a kicked ball. Burlington back into the ball game, and Sears will head out for the final 30 seconds. And a timeout. St. John's calls timeout with 29.8 on the clock.
This is the Pod by 8 Sleep. It's deeper, smarter sleep with personalized cooling and heating on each side of the bed, keeping you at the ideal temperature all night long. It's premium support and comfort, and a daily sleep fitness report that coaches you toward optimal recovery. Experience the softer side of tech, because better sleep makes for a better you. This is not just a bed. It's the Pod by 8 Sleep, the most advanced sleep system on the market. Learn more at 8sleep.com.
Providence down by 8. Alpha Diallo close to a double-double, 9 points, 9 rebounds. Time now for the player profile, brought to you by State Farm. As we mentioned, a homecoming for Alpha. Born in New York City, raised in Harlem, and before going to Brewster Academy, attended Frederick Douglass High School in Harlem. Now in his senior season, he scored 14 points in back-to-back games and getting closer already, and a 5-second count against Rutherford.
Hey, that's a big turnover there, because now Providence can get the last shot. If they can make this a 6 or 5 point game at halftime, the way they've played, they wouldn't be doing badly. And they're going to take the last shot now. They gave St. John some of their own medicine with the pressure there.
When trailing at the half this season, Providence is 2-8, and they'll be looking for a second half comeback here tonight. Ed Cooley calling out direction from the Providence bench. Pipkins with 10. Duke sets the screen. Now Duke comes to get it. 4 seconds left. Duke launches a 3. Won't go. Tipped around, and that will do it.
Not a great last possession there. You're going to hold the ball. You got to run something at the end of the clock instead of taking a contested 3-point shot.
Figueroa leading the way for the Red Storm in the first half. He had 9 points, and John is with Mike Anderson.
Well, Coach Anderson, you controlled the entire first half from tip to finish. How'd you do it?
Well, I thought our defense was good. I thought we're in attack mode defensively, making Providence uncomfortable, and of course we got some stuff in transition, made some shots, but they're a good team. With Ed Cooley over there, they always got runs in them.
No doubt. L.J. Figueroa with a really good offensive first half. What changes for your team when he scores the basketball at a high level?
Well, number one, he's the go-to guy out there, and our guys recognize that. So you can notice he's getting the ball on time, and that's a big, big key. And we're doing a good job of really playing off of him.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Andrew.
11 first-half turnovers forced by Mike Anderson and St. John's. They lead at 33-25. After the break, we'll send you to AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Khaled El-Amin, Ryan Hollins, and Gary Parrish coming your way next from New York. We are all set to go here at the Garden.
You come into this building, you're ready to go to battle.
We build our teams for that time of the year.
Now it's about a will.
They can't impose their will on the game. We got to impose our will.
Slips to the hoop for the dunk. Wow.
It's a war. We want to just attack.
Got it, and the foul.
They drive. We got to chest them right here.
Get it out of here. Big East championship game for the win.
The Big East tournament at Madison Square Garden. Get tickets now.
Madison Square Garden, we're ready for the Big East Championship game. This is gonna be a good one, folks, and the stars will be on the court today.
We are all set to go here.
They are up and at him.
He's healthy. Watch out.
For the top. Blocked. Hustle. No!
Big East Tournament champion.
The Big East tournament at Madison Square Garden. Get tickets now.
These folks, they don't have time to go to the post office. They have businesses to grow, customers to care for, lives to get home to. They use Stamps.com. Print discounted postage for any letter, any package, anytime, right from your computer. All the amazing services of the post office, only cheaper. Get our special TV offer, a 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
My wife passed away a year ago.
This is a community. We're in this together.
When it's time to start over, you're awesome. Just be you. Your mom would have been so proud of you. You can't do it alone. I had no idea that dating was going to be so complicated. When I was young, you would just go to a keg party at somebody's farm, meet a girl. Next thing you know, you're a thing.
Did you grow up in a John Cougar Mellencamp song?
The Unicorn. Thursdays on CBS.
CBS Sports presents AT&T at the half.
And we are at the half between Providence and St. John's. Adam Zucker along with Big East legend Khaled El-Amin, Pac-12 legend Ryan Hollins, and Gary Parrish crunching all the numbers over here.
Call me a legend, Zuck.
You're a legend. He's a legend in Studio 44, which is where we are right now. Hey, St. John's playing above their mean lately, I'd say.
Absolutely. They did a good job of forcing pace and tempo. That full court pressure and run and jump defense was really well. But I'm taking a look at L.J. Figueroa. The one thing I love about what he did, it wasn't just his shooting. Yes, he knocks down some big shots here, but he let his defense, his energy and effort lead to his offense. And now St. John's is rolling. They could pull off the upset over Providence tonight, but L.J. Figueroa is feeling it. Everybody knows and understands, get this kid the basketball on target passing, giving him an opportunity to score.
And St. John's is getting the basketball because they got 6 steals, and Providence with 11 turnovers. We saw Ed Cooley's reaction there when he put his head in his hands late in the first half. Now, all 5 ranked teams from the Big East in action tonight, including Villanova, trying to avoid their first 4-game losing streak since 2012, hosting Marquette, a dangerous team, but taking a big lead early. And you know Villanova's doing well when they're hitting their threes. Jermaine Samuels doubling up Marquette early, Gary.
Yeah, Villanova came out firing. Here it is, Justin Moore with a 3 after the kick out. They made 7 threes in the first half. That one put them up 22-9. Then defense. Still, Sadiq Bey out in transition. He's going to get this to go. Missed the layup, but still, Villanova up 13 in the first half. And then Cole Swider. Villanova shot 48% in the first half, 37% from three. They're up 38-29 after 20 minutes. Marcus Howard, he's just 4 of 11 from the field so far. That's the nation's leading scorer.
Is it the face mask?
He's been okay with the face mask. I think it's more Villanova's defense.
Villanova's defense, and they are up by 9. All right, meanwhile, look out for Creighton paying a visit to number 10 in first place Seton Hall, who's coming off their first win at Villanova since 1994. Look out for Mamu. The Pirates up by 4, but Creighton ties it up, Ryan, and then this.
Big three from Denzel Mahoney. Seton Hall Creighton was all over Seton Hall. Big hustle play. These are game-winning plays. My man Marcus Zagorowski with the lay. And Denzel Mahoney coming back again with the dagger. Blue Jays win 87-82. Somebody say upset.
Yeah, that looks like some of the hockey that they play there sometimes too. Creighton does it in Newark, 87-82. 4 players with 18 points, and Miles Powell, 1 of 11 from 3. They had Quincy McKnight looking good and healthy with 20, but in a loss nonetheless. First game of our doubleheader, Butler taking care of business at home at Hinkle against Xavier. Aaron Thompson over to Bryce Enzi, and the Bulldogs up by 11 early, Khalid, but back comes Xavier.
Yes, Najee Marshall, he fumbles the ball, but is able to get it back and get the jumper to go. Now in the second half, Kamar Baldwin is his time. He finds Jordan Tucker, who knocks down the deep 3. Nice shot there. And Baldwin again with the big-time step back going right. He's a big-time shot maker when it matters the most.
Yeah, we've seen that down the stretch this season. So Butler gets the win by 5. Remember, Providence beat Butler in one of their last 3 games, beat Creighton in one of their last 3 games, so expecting a lot out of the Friars here in the second half. Tyreek Jones, by the way, for Xavier, 7th straight double-double. So maybe a little quieter in this one, but watch out in the Big East.
The Big East is interesting, man. Seton Hall, if you're Kevin Willard, you still got to be happy. You got a 2-game lead in the standings. You don't want to lose home games, but you've got a little bit of a buffer there. And Creighton, can't say too much about them. 6-1 in the past 7 games. They really are playing at a high level right now. Big East has probably got at least 3 or 4 teams that can go to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament.
I'm loving Butler, how they're playing. We all know they were picked to finish 8th. All right, they've been having some troubles of late, but Kamar Baldwin is leading this team, willing this team to victories down low, and they stayed themselves. They don't try to be anyone else. They play their style of basketball, and it's paying dividends.
I think this Seton Hall loss has to concern you. If Miles Powell can't get going, you look for him a guy to be able to facilitate and create shots for the rest of his team. And he didn't do that tonight. They've been able to grind out games, but they couldn't do it tonight. So it's something to take a look at.
Yep, and they were missing Mamu for so long, got him back, but then when we were missing him down the stretch tonight, that's peek around the country when we come back on AT&T at the half, including 2 more top 5 teams on the road. St. John's at home, up by 8. David Carraher and company with 5 threes in the first half.
We can't make working out any easier, but we can straighten your teeth 3 times sooner than traditional braces. Go from this to this, or this to this. Join over 500,000 satisfied grinners. No braces, no office visits, no paying a fortune. Start for free at SmileDirectClub.com.
Visual on target. Target in sight. Convoy on route. Hold the line, that's a good line, hold the line.
Sometimes the front lines are in our own backyard. Make a difference in your community, serving part-time in the Army National Guard.
Working out, not fun. You just gotta see the lighter side of it.
Y'all ready for this?
You guys want to switch sides now?
We're good. I feel great. Cheers. Cheers.
Sonic just introduced tachos. Look at that cheese sauce.
Bacon, too, so crispy.
And Baja Blend.
Love those spicy jalapenos.
Tachos. It's like I'm saying nachos, but I'm not.
It's not that much like you're saying nachos.
St. John's University is New York, through and through.
While our roots may be here in the city, our Catholic and Vincentian influence is felt around the globe. Diverse, determined, and dedicated, our students graduate career-ready and primed to take on the challenges of tomorrow. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
We're going to Morgantown, I think. Yes, number 3 Kansas paying the visit to Huggy Bear. And Gabe Osaboyan with the layup for the home team. Mountaineers on top by 3 there, Ryan, but Kansas down the stretch.
Udoka Azubuike with the nice little jump hook right there, leading the NCAA in field goal percentage. Isaiah Moss with the nice corner J. Jayhawks escape with the win, 13-1 run. Big time win.
Big one, 19 turnovers by West Virginia. Meanwhile, Louisville on top of the ACC, but in a little bit of trouble. Jose Alvarado and the Yellow Jackets, a 12-2 run to start the game, Colin.
Yeah, and they're turning defense into offense. Jordan Usher dunks it on the break. And then the second half, they're going to slow it down and get the ball inside to Steven Enoch, and he's going to dunk it.
And Georgia Tech trying to maintain it, up by 7. Alabama gave Auburn its first loss of the season, trying to give them their 3rd loss as well. John Petty, clutch 3. We're going to overtime on the Plains GP.
And then Auburn took control. You're going to see Samir Dowdy here turn the corner. Big-time finish at the rim. That puts Auburn up 87-81. And then Austin Wiley ripped the rim down. 95-91 victory for Auburn. BP's Tigers are 22-2.
BP, your GP. Did you see his numbers, though? 18 points, 17 boards, 5 blocks. But late in the game, Isaac Okaru grabbing his hamstring.
It looked serious. He had to be helped off the court. He did not return. You hope that's not a bad injury, because if it is, then Auburn is a little bit less than it otherwise would be.
Yeah, Bama losing with a school record 22 threes in that game. Final thoughts here?
Yeah, Kansas. I would like to have seen Kansas play a little bit better, but they were in a tough environment, but they got it done. I like the way they got it done with Azubuike only scoring 6 points.
All right, indeed. Ryan nods. We will continue to nod inside college basketball at the end of the night. Basketball, the second best sport being played at Carnesecca tonight. Because you know, Frisbee always takes the cake, Gary.
That's your thing, Zook. That's your thing.
Thank you for watching AT&T at the Half.
You know what beats next day shipping? Getting it the same day. With Ace, you can buy online and get free in-store pickup, or get it delivered that day. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their stuff.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
You can't put a price on love. But if you did, it'd cost the exact same as a Reese's. Turns out love's kind of inexpensive. Not sorry. Reese's.
This is a special report for people who want the facts about reverse mortgages without the hype. You've seen a lot of commercials telling you how you can turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. But do you really know if a reverse mortgage loan can help you? Call today. For a limited time only, we'll send you a free special report. There's no obligation, and the call is free. So don't delay.
Call 1-800-418-2734. That's 1-800-418-2734.
And away we go. I'm crushing it. Unbelievable. I'm crushing it. Nice fake. To the rim, the high kiss. You got to be kidding me.
I sent your new prescription to the pharmacy. Any idea how much it will cost? You have a choice. Insurance or GoodRx? I have insurance. Insurance is not what it used to be. People struggle to get their prescriptions covered, and prices keep rising. I recommend GoodRx. You get free coupons to save on your prescriptions. Compare prices to find the best discounts.
GoodRx.
Smart. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today.
Back in New York, getting set for the start of the second half with St. John's leading Providence by 8. Courtside at Carnesecca Arena with my friend Steve Lapis, former Villanova coach. We'll hear from John Rothstein coming up. I'm Andrew Catalan. And Steve, the pace of that first half heavily in St. John's favor. No surprise, playing at that rate that they're up by 8.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the thing that really hurt was they had 22 points on second chance points and turnovers. If they're going to get both those categories, then Providence is going to be in trouble. Providence really should be more on the offensive glass, but they're getting outplayed by St. John's in every way, every phase of the game right now.
Alpha Diallo, a nice first half, 9 points, 9 rebounds, but St. John's was looking LJ Figueroa's way.
Yeah, he made 3 threes in the first half, which is a huge thing for a team that only makes 6 or 6.3 a game. So the fact that they made 5 threes in the first half was a huge bonus for St. John's.
11 turnovers for the Friars, and let's send it over to John.
Well, Andrew, I just talked to Ed Cooley, and he told me that he's very upset. I asked him what he had to do to get Providence to cut down on their first half turnovers. He said, John, it's simple. We need to have more pride. He doesn't feel like his basketball team is playing with pride right now. Visibly upset, Andrew.
And he talked about that with us pregame as well, and he said earlier this week, we're not the prettiest or the smoothest team, but we're gritty. When we play to our identity, that's their identity. And to your point, in the paint, not settling for threes. That's who Providence is, but it seems like they get away from that a lot.
And their half court, you know, they lead the Big East in defensive points per game in Big East games. They have not played well defensively in the half court tonight either. So they've got to get back to their identity, being tough, defending, and scoring in the paint and defending the paint.
Mustafa Heron, as we told you right at the beginning of our broadcast, out for the season after re-aggravating his right ankle injury that he suffered back in December. It actually could date back further than that to the Pan American Games when he was playing for Ed Cooley, who was the head coach of that team. But without Heron tonight, St. John's offensively has not skipped a beat.
And Ed Cooley set that play up to get the ball into Nate Watson, his first possession of the second half, but St. John's played that very well.
Watson hands off, Reeves is fouled. And that's the third on Josh Roberts.
Well, they get the ball into Nate Watson here. They double. They forget about A.J. Reeves cutting to the basket.
Providence was 3 of 6 from the line in the first half. Reeves, the sophomore from Roxbury, Massachusetts, did not play in the first game against St. John's because of a head injury he suffered against Butler.
And you know, and that's a real bonus for St. John's. They didn't foul in the first half. Normally, their opponents should make 15 free throws a game. They kept Providence. They were able to be aggressive defensively without fouling.
How about Roberts staying out there with 3 fouls?
You know, he really has not gotten into any kind of a flow, so I'm guessing Mike Anderson saying, listen, this guy's either going to come in, stay in and do something, or he's going to foul out, and that'll be the end of it.
Figueroa into double figures for the 18th time this season. He's got 11 points. And a whistle against Providence. David Duke commits the foul. That's his third.
And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to half-court defense. I mean, he's able to really get to 8 feet and finish it with the bank.
And a turnover by St. John's as Champagny could not get a handle on it. There's a tough one here for Ed Cooley. He's got to take Duke out with the 3 fouls. And Pipkins replaces him.
Yeah, that's really tough for him to take this kid out because he is really their, I know Diallo's the guy with all the hype, but I think Duke is their best player.
7 points in the first half for Duke. Here's Reeves. St. John's trying to stop a 3-game losing streak. Champagny launches and hits from the outside. His second 3 of the night. He had 12 the entire season entering tonight. Diallo swatted by Roberts. Up ahead, Figueroa. LJ with the jam. Seven straight points for the Red Storm. And it's all St. John's right now.
Well, what a great block here to start this off. Josh Roberts is a really good shot blocker. And then one thing about St. John's, they are off to the races.
Figueroa commits his second foul. Oh, that's a terrible pass. Turnover. Oh, never mind. We got a whistle out front. And that's going to go on A.J. Reeves.
But one thing you can't do against St. John's is throw lazy, lobbed passes. Because this team is, I haven't seen a pass fake yet from Providence.
Reeves got a hand on it, right back to St. John's, and Figueroa on the drive. And Malik White, the rebound. Numbers for the Friars. Figueroa late to join the play. Pipkins left open for 3, and hits. And Ed Cooley immediately calls timeout. And you could tell Cooley, as John Rothstein reported, was hot at halftime. He's still hot here early in the second half. Much needed 3, though, by Luwan Pipkins. Providence trying to crawl back on the road. They trail by 10.
Doesn't that cloud right there look like a penguin?
Really? That looks exactly like a busted pipe spewing water everywhere.
Can you just stop being an insurance agent for like 2 seconds?
It's my job to think about these things.
Well, what does that cloud look like?
That looks just like your house. That's being burglarized. They're stealing your TV right there. Oh, and right there, it's a bear destroying your car.
You need a vacation. Soon, very soon.
You know, Chris, some of us don't have an off season.
Gatorade Zero. All the electrolytes, zero sugar.
Boom, and I really care what my bump into. Bulldozer, make room. Write that pun for me too.
Ready for more?
Bring it on.
Gatorade Zero. Get more out of zero.
If only there was a place nearby you could get one of these. Or these. Good thing they're sold literally everywhere business is done. I'm pretty sure you could buy them at a bank. Not sorry, Reese's.
DiGiorno Rising Crust Pizza now has even more cheese. It's so cheesy, you'll need a pickup line to go with it. Like, did it hurt? When all that cheese fell from heaven and landed on you? It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno, now with more cheese.
You know what beats next day shipping? Getting it the same day. With Ace, you can buy online and get free in-store pickup, or get it delivered that day. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their stuff.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Life out here tastes sweeter with the freedom to roam at 40 miles per hour. The power to haul whatever needs hauling. And best-in-class acceleration and handling with cargo. The new gas-powered Kubota Sidekick is the first of its kind. Purpose-built for speed, fun, and to get the job done right.
Welcome back to Corner Seca here on CBS Sports Network. I'm John Rothstein. 17:39 to play in the game. St. John's leads Providence 4-30. Joined now by a guy who scored a bucket or two in this gym, Shamari Bonds. Your assessment of the first half and change here at Corner Seca.
I mean, they playing real well. I mean, they getting up and active on defense. I mean, Coach Anderson preached defense, so I mean, that's what defense turned to offense.
Well, we know you spent some time here doing some work in the NBA with the Raptors, with the Rockets. What's your plans now moving forward?
I mean, I'm just pretty much getting it together. I just got a new agent, so I mean, see what opportunities he got for me, and I can go from there.
All right, thanks, Shamari. Best of luck moving forward.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Andrew.
And John, he's got an extra eye on his former high school teammate. That's Rasheem Dunn. They were teammates at Thomas Jefferson High School. They won a Federation title in 2016. So Shamori back to see his alma mater, but also his former high school teammate.
I'll tell you, Shamori Pons could make more tough shots than anybody I saw in college basketball. This kid at his size used every bit of that backboard. He was a really good college player.
Let's see how Providence responds after the timeout by Ed Cooley. And we're going to have to wait a little bit longer as St. John's calls timeout, having trouble inbounding. Mike Anderson will talk things over. We're coming up on Valentine's Day this week. Just a reminder to everyone out there, get your gifts lap. Don't forget. But also Valentine's Day, 1987, St. John's entered the game against Providence, riding a 30-game win streak in this building. Rick Pitino against Luke Carnesecca. Back and forth game. Billy Donovan with a layup to put the Friars up one. Mark Jackson game-winning attempt fell short as Providence escaped with their first season sweep of St. John's in the Big East era. Some big names in that one back in 1987.
Oh yeah, I was an assistant in those days at Villanova, so I remember it well.
It was Alumni Hall back then, now Carnesecca Arena. There'll be one more at Carnesecca for St. John's this year. They'll host Creighton on March 1st. Pipkins, good defense, poked it away and a turnover.
A little too much dribbling there. You got to know the guy's chasing you from behind.
Inside, Watson the flush off the feed from Malik White. Some pressure here from the Friars. Figueroa right up the court. Throws up a shot and he is fouled. Ed Cooley's trying to tell Brent Hampton, the referee, that Figueroa was pushing off, but instead it goes on A.J. Reeves. Mentioned earlier that Ed Cooley was the head coach of Team USA for the Pan Am Games in Peru last summer, and that team was made up mostly of Big East players, including 4 on Providence. One team they had to face, though, was the Dominican Republic, and this guy, L.J. Figueroa, was on the Dominican Republic team. He was actually going against Mustafa Heron, one of his current teammates, in that bronze medal game, which the U.S. won. And immediately another foul is called.
Frustration when you're on the inside on the free throw and you don't get a rebound, and obviously Ed Cooley is taking somebody out.
It's Watson who picked up his third. Khalif Young back in the ball game. Watson and Young rotate a lot at the center position. Figueroa catch and shoot. Rebound Diallo. Diallo up ahead to Young. And that wasn't a good idea.
No, I mean, you got to get 2 by 2. You can't try to hit a home run.
Big rebound for Reeves.
Another
And he gives it right to Figueroa. And Roberts makes it pay.
I mean, talk about the worst thing that can happen to you. You make a steal, and you turn it right over, and it becomes a basket.
15 turnovers for Providence. That matches their total from the first game against St. John's.
I mean, you get a nice rebound. Figueroa is like everywhere.
Reeves driving. Reeves tried to elevate. No call. Providence bench wanted one no-look pass. Rutherford lays it in. Off the feed from Dunn.
I think Ed Cooley's going to need Dave Duke. Probably can't wait with those 3 fouls.
Ed Cooley's been looking for foul calls all half.
You know, when you play against a team like St. John's that's so aggressive, you hope to get a quick whistle. And I think that's what Ed is looking for.
Pipkins launches and hits his second three.
He's streaking. He's got 2 in the second half.
10-point advantage for St. John's. Dunn tried to squeeze in a tight pass and turns it over.
I tell you, I've seen some tough decisions in this game so far.
White drives in. Roberts the block. And they're going to count that bucket. Goaltending on Roberts. Providence creeping a little bit closer. Rutherford for 2. But Pipkins starting to heat up from the outside.
Our last slide there about co-signing agreements. I know we haven't actually made a that's lunch.
Relief by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
You know what beats next day shipping? Getting it the same day. With Ace, you can buy online and get free in-store pickup or get it delivered that day. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their stuff.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Old Trapper Beefs. Cheesy fingers. Old Trapper, what's your beef?
5-Hour Energy gets you through your on-the-go life. Now it comes in 2 delicious tropical flavors that can take you to a whole new on-the-go experience. Try them both. Vote for your favorite. You could be on the go to someplace you actually want to go.
There's no feeling like it. It's hook set season. Come in during the Spring Fever sale, where for a limited time you can find huge savings on select rods, reels, and everything else you need to make this the best season yet.
You can't put a price on love. But if you did, it'd cost the exact same as a Reese's. Turns out love's kind of inexpensive. Not sorry. Reese's.
Cut to the Chase by Jersey Mike's.
Thank you, Jake. Have a great day.
Thank you. Be a sub above.
St. John's leads Providence by 8. Saturday night, Friars right back on the court. A big one against number 10 Seton Hall. Steve Lapis and I will be there on Saturday night. You can see it on CBS Sports Network. Last time Seton Hall and Providence met, Romaro Gill had a big game. 17 points, 8 blocks, and 6 rebounds. Seton Hall won that game 73-64. Here tonight, Providence has to clean up the turnovers. They have 15 of them.
St. John's forces 17 a game. They're one of the best in the country, number 4 in steals. 15 points off those 15 turnovers. That's what Ed Cooley was concerned about. It's always a big key when you play St. John's. Turning it over like that and steals on top of it, the worst thing you could do.
With our producer, Steve Karasik, director, Andy Goldberg, everyone in our truck, Mike Nastry, Adam Lorenz, Alyssa Goldberg, great CBS Sports Network crew here tonight. Along with Steve Lapis and John Rothstein, I'm Andrew Catalan. Game 2 of our Big East doubleheader tonight on CBS Sports Network. St. John's trying to stop a 3-game losing streak. Offensive rebound, Roberts! And there's Williams for the jam.
You know, it's funny because St. John's doesn't defensive rebound well, but they go to the offensive glass really hard.
Malik White with the 3, a tie up inside. And that foul is going on Karaher.
This is just an example of getting that offensive rebound, cutting to the basket, Providence falling asleep, and the slam. by Williams.
Third foul on Carraher, and now the officials are going to the monitor to see if there was anything potentially flagrant.
Mike Anderson not happy.
Now he took his jacket off, which is something I did about 2 hours ago because it's 800 degrees in this building. But I think Mike's hot for a different reason right now. Carraher and Young got tangled up. They wanted to just make sure there was no elbow thrown. Here's another look at it. Underneath the basket.
Oh, they're looking at a hook and hold. Yeah, they're looking for a hook and hold there, but he didn't hold. I say that's nothing. I'll tell you what, they've eliminated hook and holds in the game. I don't know if I've seen one this year. Last year, early in the year, when they first brought it up, there was one every game. Now, I haven't seen a hook and hold in a long time, and that wasn't, I don't believe. I don't know, they might be coming away with something.
Here comes Brent Hampton to explain it to us.
Hook and hold. All right, that shows what I know.
It is a flagrant one, a hook and hold, 2 shots in the ball.
I thought he let go. I thought he let go personally, but I guess not.
Oh, and Mike Anderson just compounded the problem and got teed up. He said one more thing to Brent Hampton. Brent Hampton didn't like it, and now he gave him a tee. Wow. What a potential turning point in this game.
That's a big turning point because they're going to get the ball, too.
4 free throws in the ball.
Called against St. John's head coach, and that was on a 4th team foul.
Wow.
Look, Mike Anderson is a terrific coach, but they went to the monitor, and you have to assume when they go to the monitor they got it right. I mean, even though I personally disagree with it, I don't know if he had as good a look. I saw it again. I don't think Mike did. You got to assume that they got that right when they go to the monitor.
Wow, Pipkins has only missed 1 free throw all year.
Oh, boy.
He was 47 for 48 and then went 1 out of 2. So those were the technical free throws that Pipkins shot. And now, from the flagrant one, Khalif Young, who's a 60% free throw shooter, is at the line. And he makes them both. Go figure.
You know what? Providence knocks out a 3 here. We got ourselves a 4-point game.
Coming to St. John's, number 10, Marcellus Irvington.
And a bit of stunned disbelief here in Carnesecca Arena. St. John's was cruising along. They get the hook and hold flagrant one, and then Mike Anderson gets called for the tee. Providence ball. Pipkins missed it, but Diallo cleans it up. So a 5-point possession right there for Providence as Diallo collects his 8th double-double of the year. They were down 10, they've cut it in half.
And they play 5 men out, nobody in the lane at all. 5-man motion.
Williams is fouled. That'll go on Diallo. First foul on Alpha Diallo with 14:25 to go in the second half.
That's what happens when you have a 5-man motion. Everybody's outside the 3-point line. It opens the floor up for drives and opportunities to get fouled like that.
Coming up next, we switch over to the studio for We Need to Talk and spend a day with Swin Cash in her front office role with the New Orleans Pelicans. That's right here, coming up next on CBS Sports Network. And out of bounds was Rutherford. And this time Mike Anderson's just laughing about it. He doesn't want to say anything.
He certainly doesn't want to say anything with the ref half a foot away.
Back in for St. John's, number 30, LJ Figueroa.
Here's that relentless pressure once again. Oh. He was in the air, wasn't he?
It was a close one for sure.
Yeah.
Chance of defense from this big crowd in Carnesecca Arena. Diallo out to Pipkins. He'll take another three. And whistle inside. And a call going on St. John's. And they got to be careful. Fouls on Earlington. And then somebody said a couple of extra words to the official. And Nathan Farrell did not like that. And they're going to go back to the monitor to take a look.
Wow, what are they looking at there? Another hook and hold.
Earlington. Second time.
And that's a definite to me.
Second time Khalif Young was involved.
I hope I got that one right. If I don't have that one right, I don't know the rule. I still don't think the first one was. That one I think is. What did I say? I haven't seen a hook and hold in so long. Now we're like
2 and 3 minutes. And they're going to call another hook and hold. Flagrant one. 2 shots in the ball.
That's a good call.
Mike Anderson puts his hands up in the air. As Nathan Farrell told us, same exact call we just had. So Khalif Young right back at the free throw line. He made both free throws on his previous hook and hold.
I'm telling you, I don't know if I've seen one in the last 6 weeks.
Young missed them both. But it is Providence ball. They trail by 7.
Turnover.
Look, you got to give St. John's credit for this defense and the pressure they're putting, but at the same time, Providence is not making simple passes in this game.
No question about it. How many times did we talk about the careless passes? You know, it's one thing when you're being trapped aggressively. I mean, that was good pressure, but it wasn't anything unbelievable. Get the ball in bounds.
16 turnovers for the Friars. They have 15 field goals. Carraher 3. Way short as Diallo carries up.
How lucky are they to be down 7?
Very lucky. And a foul inside on Rutherford. Once again, tangled up with Khalif Young. Second foul on Rutherford. And now 6 team fouls on St. John, so Providence will be shooting the rest of the way. Diallo nearly turns it over. Providence keeps it alive. Reeves, baseline. Reeves nowhere close. And then a whistle inside. And that foul is going to go on Khalif Young.
You know, A.J. Reeves got to take that right at the rim. He pumped and then avoided the foul and made him miss the shot.
First foul on Young.
You take a look at A.J. Reeves here. You got to go strong with this. That's not what you need to do. And that is a good call.
And now Ed Cooley will put David Duke back into the game with 3 fouls. Young and Pipkins come out. 6 team fouls apiece, so we'll have free throws the rest of the way. 13:20 to go.
Providence trying to zone again, which they used some in the first half.
Earlington takes Watson to school down low. Let's see how quickly Duke can get back into the rhythm of the game after sitting with 3 fouls. Friars need Duke. He's got it here.
He wasn't ready to shoot that one. He was open. He was open off that screen.
You're right. White drives, blocked by Roberts with the shot clock at 4. Meanwhile, other end, Earlington with a nice move on Watson.
I mean, look how deep he is. If you let a guy catch the ball with both feet in the lane like that, he's going to score.
Diallo, shot clock at 1, and a push-off on Alpha Diallo. He picks up his second foul. Again, Providence more turnovers than field goals with 12.5 to play.
St. John's has tried to get this ball to the foul line area or split the double the top like that.
Great defense by Watson, who went awkwardly on his back to the ground, but seems to be okay. Look at this.
Watson ran down the middle of the floor where Diallo was.
Duke corner, White 3. Yes! Malik White, just a 26% three-point shooter. Figueroa, deep 3 is no good. Reeves tips it, and White gathers it. Up ahead, Diallo, and he throws it down. He's got to be careful. Hung on the rim an extra half second. Bo Borowski looked at him, but did not tee him up.
And if he did a little bit more of a chin up there, he was going to get teed.
Meanwhile, Providence has cut it down to 4. Earlington 3. How about this guy? He had 3 threes entering the game against Creighton Saturday night. He hit 3 in that game and now 1 today.
He looks like a different guy because that looks like a pretty good shot. Not a guy who had 3 threes all year prior to last weekend.
10-second violation.
Now that's careless.
And that's another turnover by Ed Cooley's crew.
Earlington looks like a different shooter, but right now Providence got it back to 7 against the Red Storm.
Bravo team moving to checkpoint.
2 o'clock, 10 feet up the right.
Visual 3 o'clock.
Sometimes the front lines are in our own backyard. Make a difference in your community, serving part-time in the Army National Guard.
All people are tax people. You can file it, you can do it. You can file it, you can do it. We can help you get it through it, get it filed, nothing to it. All people are tax people. Intuit TurboTax.
Mom! Yeah? I fell. Okay, there's bandages in the cabinet. I'm bleeding. Grab 2.
Sheba, what cats want.
If only there was a place nearby you could get one of these. Or these. Good thing they're sold literally everywhere business is done. I'm pretty sure you could buy them at a bank. Not sorry, Reese's.
You know what beats next day shipping? Getting it the same day. With Ace, you can buy online and get free in-store pickup or get it delivered that day. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their stuff.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This is a clear aligner from Smile Direct Club. It takes teeth like these and transforms them into those. Join more than 500,000 satisfied grinners for only $85 a month at SmileDirectClub.com.
Gatorade Zero. All the electrolytes, zero sugar.
Boom, and I really care where my ball from to. Bulldozer, make room. Right that pan for me too.
Ready for more?
Bring it on.
Gatorade Zero. Get more out of zero.
11:09 to go, second half, and a moment ago we went inside the huddle with Mike Anderson.
We've been here before, right?
Okay? Now we got to turn the pedal to the metal. Okay? That means you can't get soft on defense down here. You got to make Diallo work with the basketball. Because now they're getting way down there and getting that confident offense. Yeah, your next game right now, okay? So Brian got to kick in.
That's similar to what Mike told us before the game. His team has competed hard all year. Now he's looking for them to take the next step and finish games off. We're approaching that time.
Yeah, he's got this lead now, and he wants to make sure that these guys keep the foot on the accelerator in terms of their defensive intensity, specifically keep Diallo out of this game.
And you don't have to go back too far to the game against Georgetown at Madison Square Garden when St. John's was up 17 in the second half and lost. And you have to imagine that somewhere in the back of their minds that is going to stick with you.
Yeah, that was really one of those losses as a coach you don't forget.
Figueroa drives, baseline reverse lay-in, he is fouled.
Yeah, that's bad defense by Diallo. You know, you can't let him drive the ball. They're not really getting a lot of help from the weak side. I understand they're getting spread out by St. John's. And one of the things that Mike Anderson did speak about in the huddle was the middle is open. So look to drive it. And that was another example there.
St. John's 5 for 9 at the free throw line tonight, prior to the make by Figueroa. Figueroa now double figures in 7 of his last 8 games. He's got 15 points tonight, and it'll stay there for the moment as he misses the second free throw. White lost it, taken away by Dunn. Up ahead, Figueroa blocked as Duke came back defensively. Irlington 3. Nah, not this one, as Watson grabs it. And now Diallo with numbers up ahead. Bounces it to Pipkins. Right back Diallo. Inside, Diallo is fouled. Third foul on Irlington. How about Duke getting back defensively?
Yeah, he does a lot of things, this kid. Very good athlete. That first turnover, Malik White. But one thing you can't do, there's a lot of things you can't do against St. John's, but crossing half court and stopping your dribble is like one of the worst things you can do against a team that likes to press like them.
Providence, not a great free throw shooting team. 68% on the season. That's third worst in the Big East. And they've missed 3 consecutive free throws. Now they've missed 4.
Diallo 1 out of 6.
Irlington, this guy's unbelievable.
How do you make only 3 threes through their first, like 22 games?
Started the season 3 for 21. And now he can't miss as St. John's is on a 7-0 run. The lead back into double digits. Diallo nearly lost it. Recovers. Shot clock at 5. Pipkins forces up a 3 with the shot clock winding down. Diallo scored, but they're saying there was a shot clock violation first. No basket.
That was a tough possession there.
That was the 20th turnover by Providence. Their season high is 22. They're getting closer with 9:30 to play. Roberts missed the jam.
Wow, good slip to the basket. He's got to finish that. One thing about Roberts, he can really jump. I mean, he didn't really elevate at all on that one. You take a look here. He goes to set the screen. He slips to the basket, just misses.
And then Figueroa commits a foul off the miss, and because it's a 1-and-1 situation, Providence goes to the other end to shoot, which hasn't actually been a good thing lately. 50% tonight at the line for the Friars as a team. And Diallo just missed 2 in a row. Is right back there for a 1-and-1. Ten-point game. Substitution for St. John's. Rutherford out. Greg Williams returns. One more for Diallo. Let's check in with John Rothstein.
Well, Andrew, obviously turnovers a major issue for Providence. They've been lacking quality point guard play all season long. Help, though, is on the way. They have a transfer sitting out from St. Joseph's, Jared Bynum, a table-setting pass-first point guard. This team from that area will look much different a year from now, Andrew.
Yeah, Ed Cooley was talking about Bynum when we met with him before the game. Excited for what the future holds with him.
You know, Ed Cooley's gained a real appreciation for a true setup guy, and that's what Bynum is. He can set you up. Another offensive rebound for St. John's.
Williams to put back. 11-point game. Reeves comes to get it, hands off to White. Diallo! What a block. Blocked by Roberts.
I mean, when you have your dunk blocked, oh, that's a good block.
Third block tonight for Roberts.
He got met. Oh, that's a good block. It seems like St. John's has gotten so close so many times to really blowing this thing open and haven't been able to.
Dunn lost a handle on it. Shot clock is at 5. Dunn right past Reeves, and a foul is called inside with the shot clock at 3.
They've really been able to drive the ball against Providence all night. Mike Anderson talked about the middle being open. You would think, though, that they could pack it in a little bit because they're playing against a team that doesn't shoot the 3 particularly well, so why not lay off a couple of these guys and give the help?
Foul was on Malik White, his first, as Dunn makes the first free throw. Champagny back in the game for Roberts. Dunn had the game-winning free throws in the victory over West Virginia for St. John's. A couple of real nice non-conference quad 1 victories for the Red Storm, West Virginia and Arizona.
That West Virginia game in particular is looking unbelievably good.
They feed Watson. Back out White. His 3 won't go. Carraher taken away by Diallo. Nice feed to Reeves. Great vision from Alpha Diallo. And that was his 15th rebound. And so for Diallo, he's now tied a career high in rebounds. The lob, and Champagny converts.
I mean, Ed Cooley is like beside himself. That was complete falling asleep on defense.
White feeds Watson right through his legs. 21 turnovers. Williams. And now a new career high in rebounds for Diallo. He's got 16. Providence needs some offense now. 7 minutes to go. Duke's been quiet, and he's fouled on the drive. That's on Dunn, and takes us to a timeout. 6:57 to go. St. John's trying to hold on.
The Seton Hall Pirates continue their quest for the Big East crown against Providence. Saturday on CBS Sports Network.
That rhythm you feel is everywhere.
It's in our music. It is definitely in our hearts. Our rhythm never stops, and we need a beer that keeps up with it. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer that goes with our rhythm.
This is a clear aligner from Smile Direct Club. It takes teeth like these and transforms them into those. Join more than 500,000 satisfied grinners for only $85 a month at SmileDirectClub.com.
You leave it to me. I'll get your taxes in an okay place.
What?
Well, just as soon as my audit is over, this gets my undivided attention.
Take a lot of trips to the islands, Phil.
Pretty great, right? Oh, Phil's legally dead. Fell off a boat. Going by Dennis now. Solari. Long story. Then we got, oh, no, you're not gonna wanna see this.
I don't think this is gonna work.
Just okay is not okay. AT&T has America's best network, now with our best plans at our best prices, starting at $35 a month per line for 4 lines. New from AT&T.
KFC's original recipe is made from a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. And now you can get 2 pieces of my world-famous chicken as a $5 fill-up. A secret you can eat for just $5. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Teddy loves tug-of-war. In his lifetime, he'll pull hundreds of tons. That's why he needs a tailored recipe from IAMS to help him stay fit. IAMS who I am.
It's a wonderful day to be on the green. Recap the weekend, break down a swing, talk to the biggest names around the game, and shout out the shot of the day. Yes, it's a fine day to tee off on the hottest topics happening in the world of golf.
Course Record with Michael Bree, Monday at 11.
High-flying action at halftime and for St. John's. As you look at our AT&T game summary, they have forced 21 turnovers by the Friars. Back courtside with Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan, and Steve, Providence hasn't been able to get anything going offensively. If you're in that huddle for the Friars, where do you go on offense?
You know, it's funny. Every time it seems like they get back in the game, they get to 5 or 7, they turn the ball over. And it's been a lot of different guys doing it, and that's been the key. They've got to stop turning the ball over, and they can get back in this game still with 7 minutes to go. Because one thing about St. John's, they're not going to slow it up. They're going to be staying in attack mode, but the Friars got to stop turning the ball over and make free throws.
Yeah, free throws have been a problem. This half, 3 out of 6. Excuse me, this half, 7 out of 12, but for the game, 55% as Duke makes the first.
And you know, your margin of error is so small, especially a team that doesn't score the ball well. And when you're on the road, your margin of error is even less. So those are the things that you have to do.
First point of the half for Duke. 1 out of 2. Rebound Diallo, right back up and in. Diallo's been a savior on the boards for Providence tonight.
Well, he's showing what his strengths are. His strengths are doing things like that, working in the paint, getting on the glass, not shooting threes.
17 rebounds for Alpha Diallo. Dunn will take a 3. And it goes out of bounds. Reeves bumped Williams. Crowd wanted a foul, no call. Malik White, the senior from Richmond, Virginia, setting up the offense for the Friars as we approach 6 minutes to go. Big game for Providence for their NCAA tournament hopes on the outside of the bubble right now, but a chance to play into the bubble. If they can win some games, they have to have this one tonight. And not able to get anything going there on that offensive possession.
Yeah, A.J. Reeves, such an important guy, just has not shot the ball well this year. Providence has to be wary for that drive to the middle of the floor.
Drive baseline is good for Dunn.
Their one-on-one defense tonight has not been good.
9 points for Rasheem Dunn. And an illegal screen on Khalif Young.
Well, you take a look here on this drive. Let's see where the help is. Outside the lane, not even seeing the ball. Those are problems, because here comes the drive. They clear it out. No one in the lane ready to help is able to finish it.
And Providence is now tied a season high with their 22nd turnover of the night. Figueroa is good from deep. L.J. Figueroa has made some big buckets tonight for the Red Storm.
And that was a big one there.
And Ed Cooley just got a tee. Ed Cooley is hot. His assistant's holding him back.
He's gonna get tossed.
He's chewing out the referee, Nathan Farrell. So now both head coaches have been issued technical fouls tonight. And Cooley is just staring down Farrell.
I mean, Reeves was not close enough to L.J. Figueroa that time. I don't know if they messed up a switch there.
And there's Cooley out on the court and pointing right at the referee. And that's when the tee came. Cooley still looking in Farrell's direction.
I don't know which play got him. It wasn't that last play.
Well, John Rothstein reported at halftime that when he chatted with Cooley coming out of the locker room, that Cooley was visibly upset, and that has not changed in the second half.
No, not at all.
"19 points for Figueroa. Both head coaches issued technicals. This has been a chippy game here, especially in the second half. Emotions running hot as St. John's has its largest lead of the night.
Physical game. Both teams are really physical defensive teams. And it's not an easy game to officiate, I have to tell you.
Diallo nearly turned it over. White for three. And the putback by Young, count it, and one. Khalif Young has been very active down low tonight for the Friars.
Yeah, St. John's does not do a good job here of boxing out. They lose Khalif Young on that pick and roll.
And Roberts picks up his fourth foul. Young can't finish off the three-point play. Tipped high in the air, and that's a push.
That's an easy one.
On Khalif Young. And that'll be free throws at the other end for St. John's. Ed Cooley in his career 12-5 against the Red Storm. As we showed you earlier, Providence has won 6 in a row against the Red Storm. St. John's has not defeated the Friars in 3 years. Watson comes back in, and Young checks out.
St. John's not doing themselves any favors from the free throw line either.
8 of 16 are the Red Storm, as Williams makes 1 out of 2. Corner 3, and it goes in for A.J. Reeves. And Ed Cooley calls timeout with 4:13 to go. St. John's cannot put Providence away. It's an 11-point advantage.
5-Hour Energy gets you through your on-the-go life. Now it comes in 2 delicious tropical flavors that can take you to a whole new on-the-go experience. Try them both. Vote for your favorite. You could be on the go to someplace you actually want to go.
Search for a really strong glue that's clear.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Clear glue. Clear Gorilla Glue.
Of course. Gorilla Glue strength in a crystal clear formula for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
These folks, they don't have time to go to the post office. They have businesses to grow, customers to care for, lives to get home to. They use Stamps.com. Print discounted postage for any letter, any package, anytime, right from your computer. All the amazing services of the post office, only cheaper. Get our special TV offer, a 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
As a boy growing up in the early 90s, there were 3 things I could count on: God, football, and family. Do you really have to do that
If
here?
the management didn't want me to solve unified field theory, why would they give me a cram? I drew a ladybug.
It's not like I'm gonna graduate valedictorian.
There are 5 billion people, and you're the perfect mom for me.
Spend time with the Coopers. Young Sheldon, Thursdays on CBS.
Day 1, 50 Peloton rides to start the year. Here we go.
Don't stop here, Peloton. Remember why you started.
Halfway there, just hit a 5-day streak.
What's that mean?
It means Daddy didn't quit.
I don't get it.
Almost 50 rides. Boom!
We did not wake up to be mediocre today, Peloton.
Okay, it's just another meeting.
Come on. You didn't wake up to be mediocre.
Time now for the Tums fast break of the game. One of 23 turnovers by Providence tonight. A new season high, this one turning into offense for St. John's. That's been a big part of this game. As we take a look at the foul trouble with 4:13 to go. Only one player with 4 fouls, and that's Josh Roberts of St. John's. Mentioned it before, but St. John's up 17 in the second half, lost to Georgetown at Madison Square Garden on Super Bowl Sunday. So this is something that has been hanging over them the last few games, trying to put away the Friars here at home and stop a 3-game losing streak.
And that's what Mike Anderson has preached to his team, to keep the pressure and the aggressiveness on and don't stop.
Most turnovers by the Friars in 7 years. And a kickball.
Now in for the Friars, number 1, Greg Gant. On for the Red Storm, number 10, Marcellus Burlington.
Williams spinning in the paint, high arcing shot, no good. And the rebound grabbed by Earlington, and he pulls it out.
It's funny because St. John's not a great defensive rebounding team, but they're scrappy on the offensive glass. And when you spread people out, it's harder to box out.
Greg Gant commits the foul on the perimeter, and that's going to send St. John's to the free throw line. We mentioned before Providence on the outside of the NCAA tournament bubble. They have a lot of opportunities coming up starting Saturday on CBS Sports Network against 10th ranked Seton Hall. But what would this loss do for the Friars?
It would be a killer, man. If they win this game, maybe they don't have to beat Villanova, Marquette, and Seton Hall. they lose this game, they might have to win all 3 of those games, which obviously is going to be difficult to do. So this is they're not done, but this really puts a nail in them pretty good.
57 in the net, and a lot of bad non-conference losses as part of their resume as well. Diallo misfires, and the ball last touch by Providence.
You know, the thing that saves them is their strength of schedule is 25. That's a real, you know, the way it is nowadays, that's important, but you got to win games. I mean, they lose this game, they're 13-12. I mean, short of winning 6 in a row, and in this league, we know how hard that is.
5 teams in the Big East are ranked, and St. John's calls timeout. With 3:32 to go. While we have a moment, let's look around the land of college hoops as we push on closer to March. And yesterday, San Diego State does it again. They beat New Mexico. Big second half for the Aztecs. They are now 25-0, and their next game is Sunday on CBS Sports Network, 4 Eastern Time at Boise State.
Yeah, and you know what? They've had trouble in Boise State in past years. And Boise State's got a kid named Derek Alston, who's a very, very good player. I'm not saying they're going to lose, but that's one that I kind of circled a month ago as a possibility.
Villanova right now in action against Marquette. Wildcats up late in that one. And we told you that Providence will head home for a Saturday night showdown against Seton Hall, 8 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Seton Hall will be hungry after their loss tonight to Creighton.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I don't think that's something that Ed Cooley would have preferred Seton Hall win tonight. Look at nobody in the lane. That lane is so wide open, and St. John's has done a good job of taking advantage of that space.
Illegal screen set by Earlington. So the ball will go back to Providence as Earlington picks up his 4th.
Back into the Providence, Nate Watson.
Watson re-enters. Gant heads out. And Providence does not have any timeouts left the rest of the way. 1 for St. John's. Duke right at Earlington, right around him, and he's fouled. And that'll go on Earlington, and he is fouled out of the game.
Personal foul, number 10, Marcellus Earlington. That's his 5th foul.
Well, you know Providence now, it's a little bit of a bump, no doubt.
I think Earlington's saying, I've only got 4, but the book has him as 5. And he's out of the game.
He's
gets a nice hand. Had a big night Saturday on the road at Creighton. And tonight, Earlington with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists.
Well, important for Duke, obviously, to make these so they can set up their pressure also. And their pressure has hurt St. John's a little bit in the backcourt.
9 turnovers tonight for St. John's. Duke makes a pair, 72-61.
They really should start to eat some clock. But I'd like to see them run something and now start running a play at the end of the shot clock.
Shot clock's at 5. The lob inside. Champagnie, wow! Acrobatic catch and finish by the freshman. And Duke on the drive is fouled. How about the play by Julian Champagnie with the shot clock winding down?
Yeah, pretty good job there rolling to the basket. They made a switch. Pipkins ended up on him. Too big for him.
Julian's father, Ranford, won a national championship with the St. John's soccer team back in 1996. One more free throw for David Duke. And Figueroa the rebound. Approaching 2 minutes to play. Figueroa fakes the three, nowhere to go, and turns it over.
That's exactly what they didn't want to do.
Pipkins hands off to Reeves. Diallo in the middle, nice dish, and Gant lays it in. 10-point game. Remember, Providence without a timeout.
Oh, they got him right there.
And another turnover, but Pipkins and Diallo run into each other. Pipkins fighting for it. And a tie-up. The possession arrow favors St. John's.
Brett Hampton called a foul.
It looked like there was an initial thought of a foul call. One ref saying foul, the other one saying a tie-up. Actually, they're telling us there could have been a 10-second violation before the tie-up.
Well, the clock's at 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10
and it
seconds.
is a 10-second violation. Providence ball. Take another look. No call, no whistle. There's the whistle. 19.
19. Absolutely.
Providence still alive. They've got the ball down 10. Pipkins quick three. And high up in the air, and a whistle is called inside on Figueroa.
This is the worst thing that could happen, is to stop this clock again and make it 8.
Fourth foul on Figueroa. And now Gant at the line, where he's 10 for 13 this season. Freshman averages about 13 minutes per game.
As you said, Andrew, they coughed away some games late.
They were right in it at the Garden with Seton Hall. Pirates pulled that one out late. We chronicled the Georgetown game. Two for two for Gant. They get it across this time. Good pressure by Providence.
Whoa. Those high lob passes when somebody's being aggressive.
Friars looking for a stop. Rutherford lost it out of bounds to Providence.
With 13 on the shot clock. So not only is that a mistake and a turnover, but to go that early. I mean, there's 13 on the shot clock.
And Mike Anderson, not only has he lost the jacket, now he's ditched the tie. 8-point game.
If Providence makes a three here, what he might ditch next.
Diallo hangs and gets the bounce. 74-68 with a minute to play.
All this without really fouling.
Rutherford gets it across. And a foul committed by Malik White, stopping the clock with 49.5 to go. It'll be Greg Williams going to the free throw line.
I thought they were going to try and play that possession out, but I have no problem with them using the foul there.
At the line for St. John's is number 4, Greg Williams.
Tonight at the line, Williams is 3 for 4. He'll have 2 shots.
Huh.
Providence has scored 7 straight points. 1 out of 2 for Williams.
You got to take something to the basket quickly.
Duke to the basket. And it was last touched by Champagny. It'll be Providence ball.
They're going to look at that.
They will go to the monitor.
Oh, wow, that's off Duke. No?
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's off Duke.
One of the things they can review, as you know, inside 2 minutes, possession on out-of-bounds plays.
And there were two or more players involved in that one, so I think that's going back the other way. Figueroa hits it. It goes off Duke. Even if his hands didn't touch it, it was off his leg. Right here. Oh, that's an easy one.
Still at the monitor discussing it. And they are going to reverse it and give it to St. John's. So now Providence has to foul right away.
Right away, absolutely.
Down by 7.
Maybe they'll get a little trap in the corner, but they have if that ball gets passed more than once, they have to foul. Try a trap, now they got to foul.
There's the foul by Reeves, stopping the clock with 34.2 to go. Let's take a look back, Steve, at your keys to the game from the first half.
Make it a 60-possession game. It really was. It was a little faster than Providence wanted, for sure. Points in the paint, scoring margin +4. Forced turnovers. Well, they certainly, St. John's did that. And defensive rebounding, they've held their own. They didn't get destroyed on the glass by Providence, who can do that to you.
Dunn rattles in the first free throw. Dunn makes a pair. 77-68.
Now if you're St. John's, you just want to keep them in front and not stop the clock.
Duke to the hoop, out to White for 3. Rebound Champagny. And a foul with 21.9 to go. And the St. John's fans here at Carnesecca on their feet to give the Red Storm a nice ovation. Getting it done without Mustafa Heron, who's out likely for the rest of the season after re-aggravating his right ankle injury.
They made Mike Anderson sweat a little bit, though.
Enough to take his tie off. St. John's on the verge of ending a 3-game losing streak. They'll improve to 3-9 in Big East play. And we talked about what this loss really means for Providence going forward. It'll be hard to overcome this. Duke is fouled by Rutherford.
Now Mike Anderson's like, why would you foul?
Ed Cooley told us pregame, we're pretty tough to beat if we can make 7 to 10 3-pointers. They only made 6 tonight.
I think if you told him he was going to turn the ball over 24 times, he would have said we need 12 to 14.
Yeah. Steal by Duke. Misses the jam. And then a foul on the rebound. Let's give St. John's the victory here and update the Big East standings on a wild night in the Big East with Creighton knocking off Seton Hall in Newark earlier tonight. Providence drops to 6-6 and St. John's to 3-9. Red Storm about to go to 9-2 in this building this year. We said it right at the start. This is not an easy place to play.
No, especially when you're playing against a team that likes to press and trap and do the things that they do.
And that'll do it. St. John's picks up the home victory over Providence. In a week which saw the Red Storm get the news that Mustafa Heron, their second leading scorer, is out for the rest of the season, they rally without him and get it done at home against the Friars.
Well, one thing, Andrew, they've played very hard all year, especially on the defensive end. And this style, if you don't handle the ball well, and let's face it, Providence doesn't really have a pure point guard. If you don't have that against them, you got to have good decision makers when you play against St. John's.
LJ Figueroa with a big night. He had 19 points to lead the Red Storm. Champagny, Dunn, and Earlington also in double figures tonight for Mike Anderson's club.
And they shot the ball well from the three-point line tonight, 9 for 21.
And John Rothstein is with LJ Figueroa.
Well, LJ, congratulations on a sensational victory. You were in a great offensive flow individually. What got you into that type of a rhythm?
I feel like the offense